Hello students, I Dr. Sarika Panwar welcome you all in 12th Computer Science video lecture series. In last lecture we started with part 1 chapter 3 C++ programming. In C++ programming actually we have to discuss the object oriented programming using C++ and in last lecture we have discussed the basics of object-oriented programming and the difference between procedural programming and object-oriented programming. Before actually starting with the object-oriented programming, we have to discuss some basics like operators in C++ and how to use the C in and C out, which are the objects in the standard input-output library. So we will discuss some codes for demonstration of C in and C out objects.
There are a number of arithmetic operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. Okay, difference, how we find the difference by using the subtraction operator a minus b, and the difference is equal to a minus b. What does it mean? It means that the two variables a minus b, this subtraction operation will be done and the answer will be assigned to the variable that is declared as a difference. Okay, so difference will store the subtraction of a and b. Similarly, quotient for a divided by b, this division operation will be performed and the quotient of that division operation will be stored in quotient variable. So here the quotient and difference are the variables. Similarly, remainder, if we want to store the remainder of the operation, then it is a modulo operator b. So this will also perform the division operation, but what it will return? It will return the remainder of this division operation. Okay, then relational operators are also there. Relational operators are equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. Okay, so here in this example what we can observe that integer variable is declared. Okay, there is variable declaration, isn't it? So in this variable declaration, integer variable is declared and its value is assigned as 5. It is initialized as 5. Similarly, b is declared as an integer variable, its value is assigned as 5. Okay, and now here is equal ISEQAL. It is a variable, but what is its type? Its type is boolean, BOOL. Okay, and what it will return? If a is equal to b, then if this condition is true, if this happens to be true, then it will return 1, otherwise it will be 0. And then logical operators are also there, like logical and, logical or, logical not operator. Okay, there is one example given here. We have declared the operator boolean variable sunny, the name of the boolean variable. The variable can be boolean, it can be integer, it can be float. Okay, it can be character variable, it can be even a string. Integer variable, if you declare a variable as an integer variable, it will only store the integer value. Okay, if you declare a variable as a float, it can only store the decimal number. If you declare a variable as a character, then it can only store what? The single character. Okay, and if you declare a variable as a string, it can store the string. Group of character is called as string. Okay, if you want to store a string named classes, CLASSES, so it is a group of characters. Okay, CLASSES. How many characters are there? 7 characters are there. So if you declare a variable as a string, it can store the group of characters. Okay, so, and if it is a boolean, it can store the binary value like only 1 and 0. Single bit it can store. Okay, so here BOOL bull, it is a variable type. Okay, and what value it is assigned to? It can take any two value, either true or false. True means 1 and false means 0. Okay, so what we have done in first statement, we have declared one variable. What is the name of the variable? Sunny, and its type is Boolean. Okay, and it has been assigned a value true, that is 1. Similarly, one more variable is declared warm. Okay, and it is assigned a value true. It is also of which type? Bool type, means Boolean. Okay, now what next we did? Go picnic. It is also a Boolean variable. Name is go picnic. We have used the logical AND operator. And what operation we have performed? If it is sunny and warm, result whatever ending operation, logical ending operation it will perform, result of that operation will be stored in the Boolean variable go picnic. Here sunny, which is true, and warm, which is also true. Logical ending operation of these two will be performed and the answer will be assigned to what? Go picnic. If it is an AND operator, and if both are 1 1 means both are true. 1 1 means true. If both are true, AND operation will result in true. If any one is 0, it will be false. Okay, so what should be there in go picnic variable now? Whether it should be true or false? It should be true, because sunny is also true and warm is also true. So if both are true, then go to picnic. Okay, assignment operator are also there. Assignment, addition assignment, subtraction assignment, multiplication assignment, division assignment, and modulus assignment. This is the integer variable declared. And now if we assign this value 5 to x, that is nothing but the assignment operator we are using. Okay, similarly integer variable y is declared, value initialized at 10. Okay, and now we are using what? Addition assignment here. And what does it mean? Y plus equal to addition, it is equivalent to y is equal to y plus 5. So y will become what? 15. Similarly here we are using subtraction assignment. Z is initialized at 20 and z minus equal to 8 means what? It is equivalent to z is equal to z minus 8. So z becomes what? 12. Increment and decrement operators are also there. P is equal to 15 and it must be an integer operator. Okay, and what we are doing? We are using the post decrement operator here. How many types of increment and decrement operators are there? It's post increment, pre increment, post decrement, and pre decrement. Okay, now we will use the post decrement first. Okay, now in post decrement what we observe that p value will be assigned to q. What is p value? Yes, it's 50. Okay, and here we will assign p to q, and then the decrement operation will be performed. Then decrement p by 1. So p will become 14 and q will become 15. Have you got the difference now? First what will be done? Assign p to q. So q will become 15 because p is 15, and then decrement p by 1. So p क्या रहेगा? P will remain, q will be 15 and p will be decremented by 1. So it will become 14. पहले decrement होगा and then the value will be assigned to y. Okay, so initially value is initialized at 10, x is equal to 10. Okay, and now first decrement operation will be done. तो क्या होगा? Now x will be 9 and then assign it to y. So decrement x by 1 and then assign to y. So x become 9 and y will also become 9. Got it? So that is the difference. Then m is equal to 7. Now it is what? Post or pre? Post increment. First assign m to n. M will be 7 and then n will be 8. Similarly, it is post decrement. Okay. So first assign p to q. So assign P to Q and then decrement P by 1. So P becomes 14 and Q becomes 15. Got it, students? Now bitwise operators. Example includes bitwise ANDing, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise NOT, and left shift and right shift. Now here integer a is equal to 5. So what is the equivalent of a is equal to 5? It is binary equivalent of a is equal to 5. It is 0 1 0 1. Okay, and binary equivalent of b is equal to 3. It is 0 0 1 1. Now it will perform the ANDing operation bit by bit. Means if the data is 0 1 0 1, it is A, and B is 0 0 1 1. Okay, now it will perform, it will start from this direction, right to left it will start. Okay, we always start from the least significant bit and we reach to most significant bit. Okay, so first it will perform the ANDing operation of 1 1. How much is it? 1. ANDing operation of 0 1 0, 1 0 0, and 0 0, it is 0 0 0 1. So that is about the ANDing operation, bitwise ANDing operation. Next is what? It is left shift and right shift. Okay, now if a is equal to 5, it is 0 1 0 1. If we want to shift it in the left direction, okay, so how it will be shifted then? It is 0 1 0 1. Okay, so in left shift operation, this is left shift. Okay, हाँ, okay, this is, ठीक है, मतलब 2 बिट्स हमें इधर शिफ्ट करने हैं तो यहाँ पर इस साइड 2 0 ऐड करने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमने चारों बिट इधर शिफ्ट किए तो यहाँ पर जगह खाली हो जाएगी. ओके, तो यहाँ पर 2 0 डाल दो. सिमिलरली राइट शिफ्ट, तो क्या करना पड़ेगा बताओ? यही अगर राइट शिफ्ट होता तो आंसर क्या होता? 0 0 0 1 0 1. a इज इक्वल टू 20 है, उसको यहाँ पर 2 0 ऐड करने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है, सो दिस इज हाउ वी परफॉर्म द लेफ्ट एंड राइट शिफ्ट ऑपरेशन. नेक्स्ट इज conditional operator. It evaluates a condition and returns one of the two values depending on whether the condition is true or false. There is a condition here and here the value is given if the condition is true, and here the value after colon, here the value will be given if the condition becomes false. If int x is equal to 10, this is the integer variable declared and its value is initialized at 10. Condition is what? This is the condition given, x is greater than 5. If this condition is true, then 100 will be assigned to y, otherwise 200 will be assigned to y. String. A string is a sequence of characters stored in contiguous memory locations. सपोज मुझे एक स्ट्रिंग स्टोर करनी है जिसका नाम है CLASSES, classes. This is a group of character which we can call as a, so string is a sequence of characters stored in contiguous memory locations. Okay, now we will see the example. Here in this program, it is a simple program. Hash include IOString, that is always required, we know. Then using namespace std, okay, because if we write the code in dev cpp, this is also required every time. You don't need to write std in front of cin and cout if you are using namespace standard. In main program, what we are doing, we have declared one string. Its name is greeting. This is the identifier. You can give any other name. We have initialized the value of the string hello, comma, space, world. Okay, now as it is said in the above statement that the strings are stored in contiguous memory locations. These are the मेमोरी लोकेशंस कंटिन्यूअस मतलब एक के बाद एक ऐसी. द नेम ऑफ द string variable is greetings. What is the name of the string variable? Greetings, string variable. And what will be stored in contiguous memory location? It is okay. Now you note here that for each character, for each symbol on this keyboard, for every symbol and character there is a ASCII available. And when we store the string in a memory, then actually the ASCII of that is stored. Okay, this is stored hello comma space 1 exclamatory mark. This string is stored in this greeting variable. This is a string variable, and now it is displayed on output screen. So for that we are using cout. Whatever it is there in the greeting variable, that will be stored, okay, and displayed by using cout, and return 0. It is for the main. That is about the operators. As I have told you earlier that we will write our codes in dev cpp. Okay, how many compilers we know? Dev cpp as well as turbo cpp, turbo C++. We will write all our codes in dev C++. So I have already written some codes for you. First we will see the code just to demonstrate the cout. So first thing is what? We have to write the hash include IO string. Okay, hash include IO string. Then okay students, so see here in this code, this is the simplest and basic code just to demonstrate the functionality of cout. Okay, now here hash include IO string, that is obviously required. Okay, because it is a compiler directive and all the IO string functions are defined in this IO string header file. That's why it is required, it is important to include this compiler directive. Then we have used the int main. This is the main function. It is always required in the program. Main is always required in the program and its return type is int. Okay, here the main starts with this opening curly bracket and main ends here with this closing curly bracket. Okay, what is this? Direct hello world we have displayed. It is seen on the output console by using cout. Hello world. This is per k classes. These are the two messages we have displayed. Now here, if you remove this endl, what will happen? We have to see. What has happened? Have you seen? Second line. उसने end line नहीं किया. Okay. So have you got the significance of endl? Have you got it, everybody? This is simple demonstration of cout, to use cout. Here it is the demonstration of usage of integer variable. Okay. In main program what we did? int main, ये ओपनिंग कर्ली ब्रैकेट से आपका फंक्शन स्टार्ट होता है. व्हाट वी डिड फर्स्ट, एक हमने इंटीजर वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर किया, उसका नाम क्या है? नम इज द नेम. ठीक है. और नेक्स्ट लाइन पे हमने क्या किया है? नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, नम की वैल्यू 10 इनिशियलाइज की है. ओके, यहाँ पर ये एरर देगा. व्हाट इज दैट एरर? कैन यू टेल मी? यहाँ पर नम हमने कैपिटल किया है, जो बिकॉज इट इज द आइडेंटिफाई, जो नाम हमने वहां पर दिया कहीं यहाँ पर लिखना है. ओके, अभी नम की वैल्यू हमने 10 इनिशियलाइज की है एंड देन वी हैव डिस्प्लेड बाय यूजिंग द cout. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए मैसेज हमने क्या लिखा? द वैल्यू ऑफ द नम वेरिएबल इज कोलन. ये सिर्फ मैसेज है. दिस इज जस्ट वॉट एवर वी हैव रिटर्न इन डबल कोट, इट इज जस्ट द मैसेज. और उसके बाद ये एरो दिए हैं and then the variable value which we want to display, उस वेरिएबल का नाम और वो फिर डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा. ओके, एंड रिटर्न 0. अब यहाँ पर व्हाट, कंपाइल एंड रन. ओके, तो क्या डिस्प्ले हुआ? यूजिंग cout we did the value of num variable is कोलन. उसके बाद हमने num लिखा था, तो यहाँ पर क्या डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा? num की वैल्यू वो क्या है? 10. ठीक है, तो अभी हम एक छोटा सा इस कोड में चेंज करेंगे. एंड व्हाट इज दैट चेंज? यहाँ पर ना लिख के हम नम की वैल्यू यहाँ पर इनिशियलाइज करेंगे 10। इसी लाइन में कर सकते हैं ना, मतलब हमने नम वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर भी किया और उसकी वैल्यू भी इनिशियलाइज कर दी 10। दैट वी कैन डू इन सिंगल लाइन, सिंगल स्टेटमेंट। ठीक है, हाँ। अभी वी विल एग्जीक्यूट। अभी हम क्या कर सकते हैं, नम की वैल्यू अगर हम चेंज करते हैं, सपोज इट इज 6, तो यहाँ पर नम की वैल्यू जो यहाँ पर हम डिस्प्ले कर रहे हैं यूजिंग दिस, ठीक है, तो ये भी डिस्प्ले हो जाएगी। नाउ व्हाट विल बी डिस्प्ले ऑन द आउटपुट कंसोल, नम वैल्यू विच इज नाउ मॉडिफाइड टू 6। ठीक है, गॉट इट? सो दिस इज जस्ट द डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन ऑफ द integer variable declaration. Now next program. Program 3 is for the demonstration of cin. Okay, how to take the data from the keyboard. Cin is used to take the data from the keyboard. Cout is used to display the data on the output console. Okay, so we will start with the code. This is the first compiler directive. Then using namespace std, this statement is required in every of our code, and int main, this is the main function, beginning of the main function with the curly bracket. Now this code we have declared one variable, integer variable, name is number. Number is just the identifier, you can give any other name. Then we have displayed one message on the output console by using cout. Okay, and what is the message? Enter a number. This is just a message. Now user will enter a number. So user will enter a number by using what? Keyboard. So that has to be taken from the keyboard and stored into some variable. So user will enter a number. Okay, that will be taken from the keyboard and it will be synced to this variable for storage. Are you getting it? So how the data flow from keyboard to cin to number, and here how the data flow from program to cout to output screen, output console. You see the flow of data. Okay, and here from keyboard to cin to number variable, here from program to cout to output screen. Getting it? Now what is there in the number variable? It is the number entered by the user through the keyboard. Okay, now we have to display what number is given by the user, that number we have to display. So for that again we will use cout. Okay, and what we have to display? The entered number is and its value. So the message should be displayed. You entered colon. This message will be displayed, and after the colon, the value stored in the number variable will be displayed. Okay. Now execute this. Enter a number. Okay. This message we have displayed by using what? Cout. Okay. Now I am entering a number. Suppose 45. From the keyboard it will go to cin, and from cin it will go to number variable. Okay, so you see the flow of data. So this is about the simple programs we can write by using simple main function. Now in all these three programs, what we observed, we have not used the classes and object, which is the main characteristic of the object oriented programming.
So we will discuss the classes and objects in next lecture. If you like my video, please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you, students.